The painting of automobiles is done to A. Prevent rust from growing on the body. B. Improve its external appearance. C. Retain the characteristics of steel for long. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The main task of a battery in automobiles is to A. Supply electricity to the alternator. B. Act as a reservoir or stabilizer of electricity. C. Supply electricity to the vehicle's electrical system at all times while the engine is running. D. Supply a large amount of power to turn the starter motor when the engine is being started. The correct answer is supply a large amount of power to turn the starter motor when the engine is being started. The major purpose of an electronically controlled automatic transmission is that this type of transmission A. Eliminates gear clutches. B. Eliminates the gear shift lever. C. Reduces the number of automatic transmission components. D. Reduces shift shock and achieves more efficient transmission of engine torque. The correct answer is reduces shift shock and achieves more efficient transmission of engine torque. The connecting rods are generally made of shaped cross-section A. I. B. C. C. L. D. H. The correct answer is I. The anti-knock property of compression ignition engine fuel can be improved by adding A. Tetraethyl lead. B. Trimethyl pentane. C. Amyl nitrate. D. Hexadecane. The correct answer is amyl nitrate. The calorific value of petrol is about A. 36.5 38.5 mJ/kg. B. 39.4 42.5 mJ/kg. C. 42.7 43.5 mJ/kg. D. 45.5 47 mJ/kg. The correct answer is 42.7 43.5 mJ/kg. The ball joints are used on the tie rod ends because they A. Reduce the amount of noise generated. B. Reduce the amount of sliding resistance. C. Can deal with movement of the suspension both vertically and in other directions. D. Improve the forced transmission speed. The correct answer is can deal with movement of the suspension both vertically and in other directions. The air resistance to a car at 20 kmph is R. The air resistance at 40 kmph will be A. R. B. 2 R. C. 4 R. D. 4 R2. The correct answer is 4 R. The size of engine cylinder is referred in terms of its A. Diameter and bore. B. Displacement and efficiency. C. Bore and stroke. D. Bore and length. The correct answer is bore and stroke. The purpose of a cylinder head gasket is to A. Prevent the combustion gases from leaking from the joint between the cylinder block and the cylinder head. B. Prevent engine oil from going into combustion chamber. C. Removes impurities from cylinder head lubricating oil. D. None of the above. The correct answer is prevent the combustion gases from leaking from the joint between the cylinder block and the cylinder head. The function of a first compression ring top ring is that it A. Increases the combustion temperature. B. Creates swirl. C. Maintains a seal and prevents the fuel leakage. D. Maintains a seal and prevents escape of burned gases and loss of pressure in the combustion chamber. The correct answer is maintains a seal and prevents escape of burned gases and loss of pressure in the combustion chamber. The number of exhaust manifolds in a V6 engine are A1, B2, C4, D8. The correct answer is 2. The drive shafts are connected to the differential and wheel hubs through universal joints because the universal joints A. Absorb the vibrations transferred from the surface of the road. B. Compensate for variations in the relative positions of the differential and the wheels which result from bumpy road surfaces or other similar driving conditions. C. Absorb any difference in speed between the left and right wheels when the vehicle is turning. D. None of the above. The correct answer is compensate for variations in the relative positions of the differential and the wheels which result from bumpy road surfaces or other similar driving conditions. The function of antilock brake system ABS is that is: A. Reduces the stopping distance. B. Minimizes the brake fade. C. Maintains directional control during braking by preventing the wheels from locking. D. Prevents nose dives during braking and thereby postpones locking of the wheels. The correct answer is maintains directional control during braking by preventing the wheels from locking. A worm gear is used as the pinion for the rack and pinion type of steering gearbox because it: A. Improves steering comfort when steering wheel is turned to effect small changes in the direction of forward motion. B. Allows the steering wheel to be turned by a greater amount when steering. C. Makes the steering more responsive. D. Reduces the amount of kickback for large steering angles. The correct answer is improves steering comfort when steering wheel is turned to effect small changes in the direction of forward motion. The braking control type traction control system TCS generally operates in the speed range of: A. Less than 20 kmph. B. Less than 40 kmph. C. Less than 60 kmph. D. More than 60 kmph. The correct answer is less than 40 kmph. If the spark plug deposit indicates black coating of soot, it indicates that the engine has been generally operating on: A. Too lean mixture. B. Stoichiometric mixture. C. Most economical mixture. D. Too rich mixture. The correct answer is too rich mixture. The two rows of cylinders in a V-type engine are generally arranged at: A. 45. B. 60. C. 90. D. 130. The correct answer is 60. The crescent-shaped cavity on the piston head top surface is called as: A. Piston oil hole. B. Snap ring. C. Valve recess. D. Valve clearance. The correct answer is valve recess. The octane rating of petrol commerically available is: A. 85-95. B. 95-100. C. 100-110. D. 110-125. The correct answer is 85-95. The stroke of an engine is the: A. Volume of the cylinder. B. Length of the connecting rod. C. Internal diameter of the cylinder. D. Distance between TDC and BDC. The correct answer is distance between TDC and BDC. The function of a second ring is that it is a backup compression ring which will work in place of the top ring when it is broken. B. Compression ring and aids the top ring in sealing and cooling. C. Backup oil control ring which will work in place of the bottom ring when it is broken. D. Cushion ring which prevents piston slap and knock. The correct answer is compression ring and aids the top ring in sealing and cooling. The characteristic that is enhanced by the use of cylinder sleeves is: A. Cooling efficiency. B. Resistance to wear. C. Lubrication performance. D. None of these. The correct answer is resistance to wear. The differential ensures that each wheel is driven at a speed which corresponds to the distance it must travel around a corner, and it consequently prevents against excessive tire wear. A. Agree. B. Disagree. C. D. The correct answer is Agree. The rating of CI engine fuel diesel is given by A. Octane number, B. Performance number, C. Cetane number, D. None of these. The correct answer is cetane number. Which part of the automobile tire is subjected to greatest flexing action? A. Bead, B. Sidewall, C. Shoulder, D. Tread. The correct answer is sidewall. The temperature at which tire inflation pressure should be checked is A. 20 C, B. 25 C, C. 35 C, D. Ambient temperature. The correct answer is ambient temperature. The calorific value of diesel is about A. 36.5 mJ/kg, B. 38.5 mJ/kg, C. 42.5 mJ/kg, D. 45.5 mJ/kg. The correct answer is 42.5 mJ/kg. The negative plates of a lead-acid battery has A. Lead peroxide PbO2, B. spongy lead Pb, C. lead sulfate PbSO4, D. sulfuric acid H2SO4. The correct answer is spongy lead Pb. The function of oil control rings is that it A. lubricates the cylinder wall by releasing oil from its hole, B. keeps the cylinder wall lubricated by holding oil in its channel, C. prevents engine oil from going into the combustion chamber and returns excess lubricating oil of the cylinder wall through the return holes in the piston to the oil pan, D. maintains a seal and prevents escape of burned gases and oil leakage. The correct answer is prevents engine oil from going into the combustion chamber and returns excess lubricating oil of the cylinder wall through the return holes in the piston to the oil pan. The starter motor is driven by A. chain drive, B. gear drive, C. flat belt drive, D. V-belt drive. The correct answer is gear drive. The correct flow of power through the drive train is A. engine drive shafts, clutch, main shaft, counter shaft, final driven gear wheels, B. engine, clutch, main shaft, counter shaft, final driven gear drive shafts, wheels, C. engine, clutch, counter shaft, main shaft, final driven gear drive shafts, wheels, D. engine, main shaft, counter shaft, clutch, final driven gear drive shafts, wheels. The correct answer is engine, clutch, main shaft, counter shaft, final driven gear drive shafts, wheels. The octane number of compressed natural gas CNG is A. 90, B. 100, C. 110, D. 120. The correct answer is 120. The compression ratio for diesel engines usually lies in the range of A. 6:10, B. 10:15, C. 15:25, D. 25:40. The correct answer is 15:25. In a petrol engine, the high voltage for spark plug is in the order of A. 1000 volts, B. 2000 volts, C. 11 kilovolts, D. 22 kilovolts. The correct answer is 22 kilovolts. The piston compression rings are made of A. cast iron, B. steel, C. aluminium, D. bronze. The correct answer is cast iron. The aspect ratio expressed in percentage of the tire is defined as the ratio of A. section width to section height, B. section height to section width, C. wheel diameter to section height, D. wheel diameter to section width. The correct answer is section height to section width. Two advantages of using helical gears rather than spur gears in a transmission system are A. strength and cost, B. strength and less and thrust, C. noise level and strength, D. noise level and economy. The correct answer is noise level and strength. In order to implement gear changes in the gear unit of an automatic transmission, A is used. A. Synchronizer. B. Planetary gear. C. Magnetic clutch. D. Hydraulic multiplate clutch. The correct answer is hydraulic multiplate clutch. When the brake pedal free play is less than the specified value, then the A. brake drags. B. brake fades. C. whip or locking occurs in the brake lines. D. antilock braking system malfunctions. The correct answer is brake drags. The purpose of turning radius gauges is to measure the A. contact areas of the tires. B. free play of the steering wheel. C. turning radius of the left and right wheels. D. difference in the toe angles of the left and right wheels. The correct answer is turning radius of the left and right wheels. The three basic cylinder arrangements for automotive engines are A. flat radial and V. B. in a row inline and opposed. C. inline V and opposed. D. V double row and opposed. The correct answer is inline V and opposed. When the battery is half 50 charged, the specific gravity of acid in a battery is usually A. 0.74, B. 1.00, C. 1.12, D. 1.19. The correct answer is 1.19. The specific gravity of diesel is about A. 0.65, B. 0.75, C. 0.85, D. 0.95. The correct answer is 0.85. The service brakes employed in cars are generally operated A. mechanically, B. hydraulically, C. pneumatically, D. none of these. The correct answer is hydraulically. The smooth shift mechanism of an automatic transmission reduces the degree of shock at shifting of gears. A. yes, B. no, C. D. The correct answer is yes. The seat belt will move out smoothly when pulled out slowly, but it will lock when pulled quickly. A. agree, B. disagree, C. D. The correct answer is agree. In bias ply tires, A. all plies run parallel to one another. B. belts of steel mesh are used in the tires. C. one ply layer runs diagonally one way and another layer runs diagonally the other way. D. all of the above. The correct answer is one ply layer runs diagonally one way and another layer runs diagonally the other way. The boiling point of diesel fuel is in the range of A. 70 C to 100 C, B. 100 C to 120 C, C. 120 C to 180 C, D. 180 C to 360 C. The correct answer is 180 C to 360 C. During braking, the brake shoe is moved outward to force the lining against the A. wheel piston or cylinder, B. anchor pin, C. brake drum, D. wheel rim or axle. The correct answer is brake drum.